Hey everybody, how's it going? It is Josh. Welcome back to the discussion, episode 21. So we're super legal now. And join with me today is Will and DC Luke. So I'll let them introduce themselves real quick.
What's going on, guys? Well, all right.
No.
I knew that was going to happen.
Fucking cut
I know,
me,
right?
boy.
I was waiting for it so much.
Well, I'll just go. I'm DC Luke. I'm from Super Friends. If you guys don't know, also the DC Extended Universe topic videos every Saturday, and the more recently revived Hybrid Movies podcast. So, what's up, guys?
And I'm Will, aka Marvel Will. My YouTube channel is Another Time Hero. I'm one of the hosts of the Marvel podcast or the Marvel Elite podcast, and I also help out with Super Science whenever we do that.
Yes, so this episode of discussion is pretty interesting. So kind of in the vein of, all the renewal stuff going on and the fact that Young Justice is coming back, the kind of main conversation topic of this episode is talking about, will Marvel renew Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Because DC's basically, Warner Brothers has basically decided we're going to renew all of our comic book shows. So will ABC follow suit? And our debate topic is going to be which show would we revive. So it's our job basically to convince you guys in the comments of our side in this debate. So please, if you don't want to listen to the conversation part, just skip to the debate part and enjoy, and let us know in the comments below who won the debate, essentially. Without further ado, let's get into it. So, guys, Warner Brothers decide we're going to rip our ball sack out and just, kind of whack in everyone's face with their, superhero content, because not only is Constantine coming back in a digital format, we got a new season of Legends of Tomorrow, which I was surprised got, renewed, honestly. We got a new season of Arrow, which will be interesting to see because I really feel like Arrow went all out this season because they thought it might be their last. So I'm kind of interested in seeing where they go from here, because technically they don't have to do flashbacks anymore. And then obviously the Flash got renewed, no surprise. And iZombie looks like it's gonna get renewed also. Lucifer is gonna get renewed. Basically all the DC shows, or like Preacher is getting renewed. So basically all the DC shows getting renewed. And then on the other side of the ball, we know Inhumans is coming, but we have no official notification about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So with that uncertainty, what do you guys think? Is it coming back, or has it run its course?
I mean, I would like it to not come back, but that's just because I don't like the
Ooh.
show. But
Ouch,
I mean,
ouch.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if it can say it's run its course. I know there's still a lot of stuff it can still do, and I mean, with that whole slingshot thing that they just did, I can't imagine that they would just put that out there to introduce the character and then,
Like
it
cancel?
doesn't, and then get canceled, and that's basically meaningless. So I don't know if I would understand that.
Do you think they're setting up for a spin-off series potentially? Because they kind of tried doing the same thing with like Bobby and Hunter. Like they built them up
Oh,
to
yeah.
their solo thing.
I remember
Except for they
that.
didn't get picked up for like a series. So I mean, I still thought that was a big mistake on their part. I think they should have definitely gotten the series, secured before they did something like that, like wrote the characters off, because I think a lot of people enjoyed Bobby and Hunter.
Yeah.
Not only their kind of their chemistry on the show, but also the fact that like Mockingbird was pretty great, and Hunter is also pretty great. I mean, I know everyone called them British Ward, but I mean he was still he was a pretty funny character. I really liked his and Mac's kind of like dynamic, because they were pretty much introduced together, weren't they?
I think so. Well, I mean, I wouldn't know.
Around
I
the
just
same
remember.
time.
I mean, because everybody loves Mac and like the shotgun axe.
Oh yeah,
But,
that
like
is
I
cool.
remember for some reason when I tried thinking back to when Mac was introduced, Hunter's also there. Well, I mean, maybe it's because they were both introduced in the same season, like opener, so that might be a part of it.
Yeah.
I could see. But yeah, I mean, me personally, and Will, I want to hear more in depth your kind of thoughts on it, because you are kind of the Marvel podcast representative on this episode.
Yeah.
Unless you're DC Luke or DC Will today, which is possible. We haven't seen DC Will in a while.
We haven't seen
ever,
him come up
but
yet.
It's a rare thing.
Yeah, I mean-
it happens when I watch television.
But yeah, so I think it's run its course, but they're trying to like adapt it. That makes sense. Like because of how the Inhuman show was, I wouldn't be surprised if they tried surviving off being like maybe a Secret Warriors miniseries or something like that. You know what I mean? Because let's be honest, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., their kind of mission statement for the show is a lot different now than it was season 1.
Yeah,
I mean,
super different.
like, it's totally different. So
season 1 was more like supposed to be monster a day, but it didn't really pick up steam until around the Winter Soldier stuff, if I remember correctly.
which is, I mean, it's kind of sad. But Will, I want your at least give me a solid 30 seconds of what you think. Like, is it gonna be renewed? Is it not gonna be? Why?
So, okay, the thing with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is that I like the characters. I think the characters are interesting, and I want to see more of them. But budgetary and how long the seasons have to run, because it's 24, 26 episodes broken up in halves, and just that workload and everything, and getting funding and getting people to watch and check out the show and trying to make up new interesting stories for these characters when you can't really use all the big names and superheroes just kind of banking off references to them makes writing tough. And I honestly think, even though I do want to see more of these characters and other things, and I do kind of wish they would put the TV and movie universes together, I think it has kind of run its course.
But it's all connected.
Yes, if we all believe.
Hashtag it's all. Remember that hashtag was everywhere? Hashtag it's all connected. Like, they really wanted to make sure we knew it was all connected. I was like, after a certain point, I'm like, it's kind of like how the New 52 had the New 52 on its covers for like 4 years. Yeah, it's like at a certain point, we know it's New 52. You don't have to keep telling us.
Trust me, the art kit will give it away.
Yeah.
In the publication.
Well, yeah, so with that going on, so I guess pretty much we all think it's essentially run its course. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the characters are interesting, sad, you know, but like it just what more can you do? There are recent like these Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. specifically is like a more recent thing, because no one really gave a shit about the field agents. It's like, oh, Nick Fury, and then in 2010, it's like, oh, we have Phil Coulson that people liked. I didn't like him until Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
You know, something that's funny, a little Hybrid Network archives kind of fun fact here is, years ago, before they ever announced it, when they only announced they're doing a TV show, and they kind of mentioned Joss Whedon was, you know, behind the production of it, or at least his like brother and his like basically production company is. Mm-hmm. Me and CJ were talking about what show it is, and we made a video about it. And we actually had finished recording it and made the visuals for it, and we're about to edit it when they announced it was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And our video actually said that it was going to be a S.H.I.E.L.D. show because it needed to be something that can operate kind of in the background of the Marvel movies without trying to overpower the Marvel movies. That would complement the Marvel movies. And the only thing that could do that is kind of the connective tissue of the movies so far that was at that point in time and place years ago, S.H.I.E.L.D. So it's pretty interesting to see that actually was the truth after all. Hybrid Stradamus.
I think another thing that you inexplicably brought up as you were telling your story is that they actually don't have that connective tissue like they used to. Because
I mean, I can see why not, but at the same time, yeah.
But like
at a certain point,
well, yeah. Now that we have heroes like Doctor Strange, that Thor's going back to his home planet, we have the Guardians of the Galaxy, and things are getting a little bit more galactic, hero-wise. You know, there's only like, or even with Black Panther, you know, going across a whole different continents. There's only so much you can do, kind of stateside with your own little division, because I don't think there's like an Agents of Wakanda. I don't think they have an equivalent, and if they did, they're probably like mercenaries.
That's true. I mean, if they do cancel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., though, I would at least hope they give it a proper send-off, like a nice kind of wrap-up.
Yeah.
And then also with that, I would hope ABC may pursue another series, because I know everyone wants a Moon Knight and all that stuff, and unfortunately, everything can't get a Netflix show. So it'd be nice for ABC to do another series, except for this time, it'd be nice for them to do a series, kind of like how Netflix has done their series, where it doesn't have to try so hard to be a part of the movies and like relevance, at least, you know what I mean? Like, especially like I remember the Thor: The Dark World kind of tie-in episode that bent itself over backwards to fit in.
It was barely like a tie-in from what I remember. It was just
Yeah.
like, oh, remember this
They were just-
happened, and there's an artifact here on Earth that is kind of related to the Norse gods, but you know, like
Yeah,
it
that's
was
what I'm
just
saying.
like
They
a
like bent
barely
over
a
backwards
thing.
to fit in.
I would prefer it if a show
But-
didn't care that much to try and be connected to it. Like the Netflix stuff, they reference the Avengers shit, but that's all that they reference because that's all you need to reference.
Yeah, I would also like to see a show that is not set in New York or in LA. I mean, actually, you know, if we had to get another show and it had to be set in LA, you know, just due to the fact that they would probably film in LA, I would like ABC just to basically try doing that Ghost Rider show at this point. Like, you know, they're saying, oh, we might have a Ghost Rider Netflix show. Just give us a Ghost Rider like regular show on ABC. Not everything has to be Netflix. I think that's a big problem people are having these days. That because the Netflix way has been very good so far, everybody wants everything to be Netflix. But guys, there's more platforms out there than Netflix. So kind of tying up the TV portion of this before we get into the debate part. For the DC shows, what DC shows do you think will have the best upcoming season? So not this season, but next season, and why? And I know it's kind of hard to say because we're still not done with this season. But me personally, I think and I forgot to mention Supergirl is also renewed. Sorry about that. I forgot to mention that. Also,
How dare you?
Yeah.
but with
More
all the
Supergirl.
shows we've seen up to this point, now I haven't watched Arrow this season. I've heard it's been a lot better. I don't know what Arrow will be like though when they cut the flashbacks out and stuff like that. And I don't know if they'll regress into their old ways because they had one like season back to form. I don't know if they'll like decide, hey, let's just fuck it up again. So I'm not gonna really say Arrow will be the best one. However, I think Legends of Tomorrow has a lot of potential to possibly kind of take the crown as the best DC show.
Ugh.
Supergirl obviously has, you know, a high chance of doing so because Supergirl's been pretty great. The Flash, I wish I could say it is, but especially if they do another speedster. I mean, they said going into the season, we're not going to have a speedster villain as the main villain this time. It's going to be Dr. Alchemy, yada, 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 yada. The Rival's just going to be a Flashpoint thing. Once that's, you know, little arc is done, we're returning to form, but without the speedster being the main villain. Lo and behold, guys, Savitar is our main villain after all. And what is he? A speedster. So,
Was there that IMDb pic that said it was Cisco or something?
yeah, I mean,
That was weird.
someone joked that maybe they introduced Godspeed just so they could have another speedster to do on the CW shows. And honestly,
Don't put
at
it
this
past them.
point, I swear to God, if Godspeed is the next villain, I'm done. I am done with the Flash. Like, they have shot on their potential to do the Rogues so many times at this point, it's ridiculous. So with that being said and done, while I want to give it to Legends of Tomorrow based on purely potential standpoint, I can't trust Legends of Tomorrow with what they've shown us so far. So Supergirl is what I think for the CW will be the best DC show. But for overall DC show, it's a really close fight between Lucifer and Preacher because Lucifer has been doing a fantastic job.
It's a good
honestly,
show.
If you haven't been watching it, you're really missing out. The music choices are great. The acting performances, especially by the guy that plays Lucifer himself, very charming guy, very suave, very charismatic. Honestly, that show is just, it's been a very, very, it's nice. So what about you guys? What TV show on DC side do you think will be the best next season from what we've seen so far?
iZombie.
Since they all got fucking renewed, so it's
Yeah,
like,
I'm saying I'm going with iZombie. I can say that just hardcore, just especially with how the end of season 2 left and how it built up and just how all the characters have kind of changed and who knows whose secrets and stuff and what you know about the government. Like the main plot from season 1 into season 2 was solved, but then a whole new one was brought up, and now we have season 3 actually I think just wrapped yesterday. And I think it just has a lot of good potential for it. Like, I dropped Legends of Tomorrow about 4 episodes in because there was a massive plot hole that pissed me off that could have ended the entire series right there. And I can't get past it. I can't do it. So I just dropped that show immediately. I think Supergirl has potential because I do enjoy Supergirl when I watch it. So, we'll see. But I don't, The Flash, I'll watch it because I like the actors and actresses, except for Kenyon Lonsdale, uh, because he
You
didn't.
can't be too hard on him. I mean, they don't write him with a lot of personality.
No, they don't. But he also doesn't emote until like season 3 started, and it pissed me off. I'm like, wait.
He has no personality until he becomes Kid Flash because they don't know what to do with them until then.
Well, as an actor,
And they- They call him
you
Kid Flash. Why the fuck do they call him Kid Flash? He's in college.
because he's younger than Barry by a couple years.
He's younger than Barry.
He's a
Younger
kid.
than Barry by
Guess?
like 4 or 5 years.
He's a kid. He's younger. Like compared to
You know
me.
what I find?
Compared to me,
You know
you're
what I
a kid,
always
Josh.
find? You know what I always find so funny is because like he's supposed to be Kid Flash and Wally, and I'm like, he looks older than Barry.
That's what I'm
Barry looks
saying,
like a
like,
child.
They have the difference of like a handful of years at that.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm pretty sure Wally at that point in the comics was becoming the Flash.
But like,
So
writing isn't a full excuse for not giving a shit when you read your lines, man.
but Luke, how about you? Before we start the debate
This
topic.
is this is really awkward because I actually have not been watching any comic show.
What?
See, I haven't watched any of them.
Damn.
I've been busy, man. I've had school and friggin' it's just like all of these things are like 23 goddamn episodes and it's really hard to catch up once you miss a few. But I'll say this. I've been catching up on Supergirl and I really like Supergirl. A lot more than I liked Legends of Tomorrow or the episodes I've seen of Flash recently. So I think Supergirl probably could be the best one, just because I think it's got a little bit more charm to it.
Okay. So, with all that said and done, let's get into the debate portion. So, each person, including myself, but I'll go last in this regard. So we'll go Luke, Will, and then myself. But we'll each have 90 seconds, and let me get my timer out actually while I talk. And in those 90 seconds, we will pitch what canceled show we think deserves to be revived. Now, in regards to the rules of this show, it can't be a show that obviously ran its course. So, for example, Smallville can't be an option. Smallville went for 10 fucking seasons. It ran its
Some would
course.
say it went way too far past its course.
Yeah, so a show
10
like
seasons
Smallville,
and then canceled. Well, damn.
yeah, so for example, a show like Smallville wouldn't count. However, a show like I don't know, Young Justice would have counted, which is actually what we're doing this in the vein of. And our shows will be animated because the fact that Young Justice is coming back and Young Justice is animated. So without further ado, Luke, you are on the clock.
Okay. I am pitching Batman, the Brave and the Bold. Frankly, because this was a show that was canceled way too soon. It only got 2 seasons before it could even hit its prime. And honestly, if you're looking for a really fun DC show, this was by far the best one. And it introduced a lot of people to really obscure DC characters and made them famous and brought them into public mindsets, at least in people watching the cartoon. But it was just such a clever show. It was actually legitimately funny, unlike a lot of the stuff that we've got on TV right now. And I mean, I don't even think I need the 90 seconds. It's a really good show. And I just think that it's criminal that it got canceled just because, one episode that was really good and just happened to be darker than the rest. And everyone just thought, well, hey, maybe we should do a Batman show more like this. Just feels really criminal to me. But other than that, Batman the Brave and the Bold, great show. Love it to death. Really wish it had gotten more. And I really wish it could come back in some way.
Okay, is that the end of your kind of?
That's the end. I know
Okay.
I didn't use it all, but I don't think I needed to.
Yeah, I mean that's cool. I mean I remember when Batman the Brave and the Bold first came on. I didn't like it at first, but it really grew on me over time. And by the time it ended, and like they had Ambush Bug, for example, that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I really loved the show, and I was really sad to see it go. But Will, you are now on the clock.
Okay. Initially, I was going to say Static Shock, but going back, yeah. But anyways, the choice I pick is actually Batman Beyond, because I think that show had a really good connective tissue to the original '90s Batman anime cartoon, and it was both of them I grew up on. But Terry McGinnis is actually my favorite Batman, and I think they left some stories untapped or some stories they didn't maximize the potential that they could have. And I think with how insane the comics got, I think we could have seen a lot more stories and see how Terry grows up and he had his own personal ramen. I'm forgetting her name right now, who was also interesting. And I would have loved to see how, like, him and her, how their dynamic would have changed. I would have loved to see Terry grow up into the young adult that we got to see in that epilogue at the end of Justice League Unlimited. And it's just kind of like, well, what the hell happened between then and now? Because that was like, I'd say 10-ish or like 7-8 years apart. So that's 7-8 years worth of Batman stories that we didn't really know about until the comics happened. But yeah, I just really like Terry as a character. He resonates with me from the Extreme generation. So, you know.
Okay. So is that the end of your thing?
Yeah, Terry has a special place. He's a Batman that I actually like. I'm just not a big fan of Bruce Wayne.
I mean, they kind of made a continuation off the show. I mean, I know they had to spin off the Zeta Project.
Oh yeah, that's the Zeta Project.
They had a few like comics that like digital first comics they made. Like I think Kyle Higgins wrote one.
He did
like
cross over with Static, which was funny.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. That's a good pick. I mean, it would have. We'll get to what I'm about to say after I go. So, all right, I will probably not go over 60 seconds because, and now I'm on the clock. So, I kind of struggled between Spectacular Spider-Man and Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I mentioned that to you guys before, but I mean, because Spectacular Spider-Man was criminally underdone. But the more I think about it, I mean, they mentioned what they wanted to do in the next season, but they are never really fully committed to what they were going to do next season. However, Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes, it seems like they were totally caught off guard by the cancellation. I mean, they had concept art for what they wanted to do next season, and it really got everybody excited. And considering, all right, so Spectacular Spider-Man, what did we get to replace it? Ultimate Spider-Man, which was starting off hot garbage, but I've heard from a lot of people it got better. Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes, what did that get replaced by? Avengers Assemble.
Oh, God.
Which is... And, you know, this is why I'm going to choose Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Besides the fact that, you know, one of us showed concept art of the next season to get us excited, the other one didn't. Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes we were lied to. We were told Avengers Assemble was a sequel, and then they totally backtracked on that and did their own thing. So I felt kind of betrayed by that, which is why I definitely want to see that show revived over Spectacular Spider-Man. Also because Spectacular Spider-Man has such like a cult following and has such a special place in my heart. I feel like if it came back, it'd be a little underwhelming. Plus, when I went to New York Comic Con and saw the preview of the next Spider-Man show, it seemed very similar, so I'm not too worried about it. And I'm out of time. Damn. I actually went 90 seconds. Crap. All right. So now the next part, guys. So when we're debating, let's try saying what we'd like to see to really justify the show coming back versus what maybe we didn't see. If that makes sense. You guys following? So like instead of being like, oh, we should get a revival because we didn't because we saw this, and this, and it would have been cool to, you know, see more of that. Instead of doing that kind of conversation, let's try at least doing more of the, well, they set the seeds up for this. We'll have nice to see it kind of be explored, and then with this added on, you know, stuff like that. Let's have some creativity here. So let's get into it. Who wants to go first?
Make Will go first.
All right, well, you sounded so like...
Well, because I'm not prepared for this. I thought we were just going to be talking about why we wanted to unpack. We gotta get some notes real quick.
But,
all right, fine. All right, Will, go ahead.
I can make some shit up.
You can make some shit up. Do you need some time? I can go.
No, that's fine. I'll think of something. But for Batman Beyond, I guess. Was it the epilogue that they revealed that his true genes are from Bruce Wayne?
Yeah, that was epilogue, which is actually really interesting. I mean, everyone kind of, you know, shat a brick a little bit about that.
So, like, saying that they, I mean, we also have all those years of in-between time where we don't know what happened and how he kind of developed his own Batman. Because, like, when we had Batman the Animated Series, it jumped in. He was already Batman, probably for a hot minute. We actually got to see him kind of Spider-Man it and start out, you know, as, you know, the kid in the streets picking fights in high school. But he had his relationship with his girlfriend and everything. Then he was with that Stone Cold Stunner from the Royal Flush Gang, which I think I hate to be the person to kind of say what you didn't want us to say, but that did kind of set up seeds for something interesting, and it went nowhere. Like,
no, I didn't say you can't do it. I'm just saying if you're gonna do that, put some creativity into it. Like, say what you would like, add on to it. Like that would make it worth seeing in the next season.
it's an interesting parallel because the Bruce and Catwoman have their thing where she's a criminal, but he had a romantic relationship with a criminal who was from a whole family of criminals. And we only saw him for about 4 episodes, and I think they could have, because he had very unique villains. He had his own rogues gallery. The only time we really saw the Jokers come back was in Return of the Joker, which good movie, but like I think we could have gotten more rogues. We could have gotten more kind of parallels to see how old, stuck in his ways Bruce would compare and also kind of help raise the new, younger, hipper, more flexible Batman in like the future and everything, and maybe see if he got his own Robin, and then once you get to that point, you can see what happens after. Like, how do you react to finding that your dad is Bruce Wayne? Like,
you
genetically.
deposit that check. What do you mean?
Exactly, like finding out you're essentially a test tube baby and half of your life is a lie, and you're like, well, why am I so good at Batmaning? Oh, it's in your blood. What? Nothing. Like,
yeah, it's like, no shit, it's in my blood.
yeah, like finding out that, and even if they go back and do the thing about Bruce and Barbara, that strange fetish that Bruce Timm has, if they incorporated that into the show.
Well, I mean, in all fairness to Bruce Timm, when he was like watching Batman, that was actually like the coupling.
Yeah,
You know what I mean, like,
doesn't make it any less weird just because it
like,
happened.
and if you actually like, expand the timeline of Batman comics, especially his relationships, the Batman Batgirl one was actually like that was a thing for a while, and then it wasn't until more of like the recent comics they kind of, made it more Batgirl and Robin, or I guess Batgirl and Nightwing. So like originally it was like Batgirl, Batman.
Honestly,
Especially you gotta consider she being Batgirl partially due to her like infatuation with Batman.
Like, I guess that's true, but I mean,
then it
like
literally came full circle.
I'm just saying, like in the animated show's continuity, like that's all fine and good, but I mean, she was like considerably younger.
I mean, she's
than
in
Bruce
college.
in that show.
She's like,
I mean,
like,
yeah,
20.
but Bruce is still like
she's still going after a
Bruce
Red
is in his
Bull, man.
30s. Bruce is basically your sugar daddy.
I'm saying like this, Dick and Barbara were like the same age in that show, and I think it even set up that they had something going on, and Dick was upset, like
The show
thoroughly upset.
The show started that. Like, the show really started the whole, like, Dick Grayson and Barbara being the same age, because beforehand, Barbara was, like, considerably older
Like,
than
I
him.
get,
she was old. Yeah,
no,
the
I
Batman had
completely
that.
understand that. I'm just saying the pairing is weird because
I mean,
those two.
It's
like,
weird to you now because of what the show did.
It is. I'm just saying
Okay,
because, like,
okay.
I understand why he's infatuated with it, but in the context of the animated series, those two have like a standing relationship with each other, and like it's a lot less creepy than daughter of Bruce's best friend, who is like a lot younger than him, is infatuated, and they go out.
Yeah,
like,
the Ultimate Spider-Man kind of played off that, where young teenage Pete got kissed by Black Cat, a grown-ass adult, and he's like, that was awesome. She's like, oh God, I'm a pedophile. It's over. It's all over for Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. All right, but Will, did you have any closing thoughts before kind of Luke took over? Come on, you gotta convince the people in the comments, man. They gotta be like, yeah, man, Will's the right way.
You can explore a shitload of stories with him finding out that Bruce is his dad and finding out the history between Bruce and Barbara, and just kind of, how do you react to that? To know that everything's connected and everyone fucked and you knew nothing about it for the majority of your adult life.
My question is, how would you react to finding out that Bruce and Wonder Woman were a thing? That would be... I'd shoot dog.
I know. I always get surprised when, for some reason, I just see... Here's my sidebar, just for Wonder Woman. I think she's probably bi because you're raised on an island of women and you see nothing but women, and then you get here, it's like, So it would surprise me. It would just surprise me.
That's not relevant.
It would just surprise me. I can't see her having an attraction to any of the supers. That's how you think
Harry's gonna react. He's gonna be like, "Well, she was bi." Like, nah, like.
No, he'd just be like, "Well, I'm surprised because you're such a stubborn old guy, and she seems fun."
He's a stud. Bruce is a stud. I don't care what anyone says. He's like basically Green Arrow, but with more like brooding.
Green Arrow is him. They just said do Batman with archery.
Yeah, easy. Luke, though, convince the commenters why your show deserves to be renewed. why the Brave and the
It
Bold should come back.
it deserves to be renewed because it's just like classic DC stuff. Because when we have a lot of stuff right now that's like taking itself seriously. We have like these long like grown up stuff. It's nice to just sit back and watch your heroes just fight like Gorilla Grodd, who's gonna turn everyone into bananas, or fight Black Manta and his army of like seahorses. It's nice to just go back to a time where the stuff was ridiculous and to just watch something that's a lot more fun and doesn't really bend itself backwards to try and take itself seriously. Not to say that there's shows out there that do a bad job of it, like stuff like Young Justice and everything are great at what they've done. I just saying it's nice to just watch something that's just overall just fun for everyone to watch, and everyone can just kind of sit down and have a laugh and just just enjoy comic books and superheroes back in a similar vein as when they were created, like during the Silver Age and everything. And I mean, in terms of like threads, I can't really speak on threads because I don't think they really ever set up threads in Batman the Brave and the Bold except for maybe Equinox. But I think more than anything, just there's limitless possibilities that Brave and the Bold could have done. Like, we could have gotten stuff that really went into the New Gods. We could have gotten stuff that really dived into just more crazy Silver Age stuff. We could have gotten more Outsiders episodes and just more Justice League International stuff.
More of that
We could
Aquaman.
have more than we could have gotten more Aquaman.
Oh,
That's
He was
probably what I should
fun.
have just led with. Aquaman. We could have gotten more episodes with Aquaman.
Outrageous.
Yeah.
Single-handedly, the best part of that show is Aquaman.
Outrageous.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
initially,
that was crazy.
Initially, I didn't actually like the show until I found out that it's like, no, it's based off the Silver Age. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, this makes sense. Okay, now I like
Yeah,
it.
that's why there's an episode where Batman dresses up like a rainbow suit. Like, they
Yeah.
just all these amazing callbacks to stuff that people write off as being like, oh man, that was just that kiddie stuff. It's like comics are cool now, and it's like comics like are always cool. It's just nice to go back and look at some of the weirder stuff they've done. Like, they had a whole episode about Batman of Zur-En-Ah. Like,
Dude, that was pretty
you're not
cool.
gonna see that in anything else ever. Like, Brave and the Bold remember stuff that no one else, not even
Brave
the
and
most
the Bold
hardcore
remembers.
of DC fans remember. Like, they're actually reaching back and showing all of DC's history.
True. Okay, well, I'm still internally debating, like, Spectacular Spider-Man, but I'm putting that aside. I mean, I love that show so much. I love it so much. I almost don't want it to get renewed because I don't want to risk it getting tainted, possibly.
Don't ruin perfection.
But I know, right? Like, you don't want to ruin the good memories. But I keep thinking back to how they did Peter and Gwen's relationship, and then the kind of slow burn they were setting up for Mary Jane. And it's just like setting up, like, the way they did Green Goblin. It's just, it's so fucking good. But no, Avengers Assemble. No, not Avengers Assemble. No,
Oh,
Avengers
God,
Earth's
no.
Mightiest Heroes.
I hope
Sorry, man. Oh man. Oh man. So one of the things I would have. So, like, they set so many. Like, all right, you guys both watched it, right?
I'm familiar with it. I actually haven't taken the time to watch it. I do like it. I enjoyed what I saw. It did not disappoint me. Because everything I saw was good.
They did something in the second season that I never thought an Avengers show would actually pull off well, at least. And they did Secret Invasion. Straight out the gates, season 2, they do Secret Invasion. And they nailed it perfectly. And they did, like, such great things to really give the Skrull versions, like, differences. So, for example, like, Skrull Captain America had the holographic shield, and he basically had the Ultimate Cap costume, while the real Cap had the, regular shield and the traditional Captain America uniform. Like, it was like little stuff like that was so cool, but, like, they pulled it off well. I mean, they introduced Captain Marvel, or at least she was Miss Marvel at the time. They introduced, Black Panther. They pulled that off really well. They did Giant Man. They even did, Scott Lang, Ant-Man. And I mean, they were actually building they were really building the world around these characters and really expanding the roster properly. And that's one reason why I feel like I almost have to put Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes over Spectacular Spider-Man. Because with Spectacular Spider-Man, I at least knew what I was going to get. with like the next season they made one. But with Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, I never truly knew how far they were going to go. And I didn't know how they were going to take their twist on it. Because they had stuff like they would have an episode focused on Thor, let's say. And they did. And they did the Beta Ray Bill thing. And they pulled it off pretty well, I think. Like, so they'd have an episode like that. Then they'd have an episode kind of really focusing on Captain America. And they did their own Winter Soldier arc. And I really enjoyed that too. And it's like, the show is obviously very well revered all around by comic book fans and superhero fans and fans of animation in general. I think I can say that unanimously. So when we get concept art showing like Captain Universe and showing kind of more Avengers, like Captain, I say Captain Universe, right?
Yeah.
But it's like showing different characters being the host of Captain Universe, seeing, more Avengers teams, kind of appearing and kind of joining forces with the main Avengers team to fight a common threat. Seeing the cosmic entities, be a part of stuff. I mean, when we're not only told that we'd like to do that by the creators and the writers, but we're shown concept art of that, that just kind of sets me over because I really wanted to see that. You know what I mean? And it's tragic. So to answer kind of the question of why my show would be the show or should deserve to be the show, to be renewed for the people listening and commenting in the comments, I think it's because unlike the other shows, a lot of your guys' arguments are based off potential and what based on before and obviously your guys' own creativity, what you'd like to see, what they could do based off that potential. My kind of argument for it being renewed is not only based off what we saw before and the creativity of oneself for what I would like to see them do, that kind of potential. It's not only just based on that potential, but it's based on the fact that we were shown what they were going to do. And it looked fucking amazing. And
wow,
it's like, it kind of hurts more now because they actually put that effort in to show us what they were going to do.
I'm still pissed. I'm still pissed they cut Josh Keaton's voice for Spider-Man and replaced it with Drake Bell, only to cancel the show.
That's almost unforgivable.
That is actually unforgivable.
We had really cool episodes. We had a really cool Kang the Conqueror episode, and they did the new Avengers, the team.
Oh yeah, they did.
And everything because the main Avengers were gone, and they had a really cool Ultron plot and Vision. People were saying when the Age of Ultron movie was in development, they should do their fight scene like Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes did their Ultron fight scene.
That was a good scene.
It's the fight scene, when Vision goes to Wakanda, I think he went to Wakanda to get more vibranium. That scene was awesome. That fight, it was, the series was just so good. And then, the way Black Panther sacrificed himself was really, you really kind of felt that. But another thing I really liked about the show was they didn't bend over backwards to fit the movies. You know what I mean? That's one thing noticed.
It was on before the movies really took off, right? It came on before the Avengers movie.
The Avengers movie was going on because they greenlit the show.
Well,
basically.
it started before that, right? And once the Avengers movie came out and the MCU, because I think it was 2013 after the Avengers, and they were all right, we got to do a show that's more in line with the movies. So scrap all this Jack Kirby praising shit.
Well, no, that's what they do. That's actually why they made the shows to fit with the movies.
Well, no, that's what I mean. If the movies weren't as successful, then the show could have stayed on.
Maybe so.
Movies had only sucked more.
One thing
I'm just saying, if the Avengers and shit hadn't been so good, we could have had fucking the Celestials and shit showing up.
Oh my god, they did tease that too. Yeah, I see what you're saying because I remember they said they hired their voice actor for Iron Man simply based off the fact that he sounded similar to not RG.
It was perfect.
Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, it was really crazy.
A little bit, yeah. I can get that, yeah.
But it was cool stuff. It's so sad because they did stuff that would show that they had some inspirations from the movies, but at the end of the day, they kind of did their own thing, and they're really just faithful to the comics. Which is exactly what Spectacular Spider-Man did. Exactly what Batman the Brave and the Bold did. Because Brave and the Bold, when Batman v Superman was kind of getting hyped up a little bit, they had that Dark Knight Returns-esque episode.
Hold up. I think you're right. Yeah, they did. That might have been after it was announced, but
I know that was after Batman v Superman was announced because everyone was making such a big deal about it. But it's
I
like,
can't remember when it came
God,
out.
it was just. I mean, I remember like they really they helped Blue Beetle and I think Firestorm also kind of get more attention again. Um,
It was just more like I guess, Earth's Mightiest Heroes and Batman the Brave and the Bold. Like, these shows, they weren't dependent on, like, what was like the newer stuff that was happening. They were actively reaching back and doing, like, old 60s stuff.
yeah, I mean that's cool. I mean, and then you have Batman Beyond, which no offense, I think Batman Beyond's not going to win this debate. I mean, just because like
it's a hard fight.
I mean, it's like
By today's
In many ways, I feel like Josh set us up. Like, there's no way he could have lost because they have concept art of his show.
Well,
I mean,
by
before we
today's
recorded, I
animation
asked you guys
standards-
which show you guys wanted me to take, and you said Avengers:
Well,
Earth's Mightiest Heroes. You picked your poison.
okay, but I didn't know that you were just gonna be like, unlike these two posers who are based on potential. Mine actually has concept art. It's like, well, fuck, I got played.
I mean,
I got
guys, I'm
screwed.
a master debater. Come on, this is
I mean, I
You're
beat you
not a
last
master
time, so
debater.
don't even
You
start
just chose
that.
the winning thing.
Waru is expecting me to give you guys a D on these
I
episodes.
beat you on the last one.
No, you
There's
did.
Waru?
You did not beat me on the last.
I
episode.
did.
No, you didn't.
Waru?
Yes, I did.
You better
Stop
vote
gassing
for me or
yourself
Will.
up.
You better not vote for Josh. You better vote for me or Will.
Well, I mean, by today's animation standards and what we know now about future and technology, yeah, they can make the future look fucking insane compared to what happened in 1999.
Yeah, but I'm saying Batman Beyond as a show definitely won't win this debate. In my opinion, it won't win this debate. This is when I tear you. This is when I tear
have
you
hope
guys down. I'm
for
gonna
the-
start. This is
You fucked
this
up,
is a
Will.
part
I
of
have
the
fucked
hope
debate.
up.
for the Terry McGinnis stands out there.
What?
We have to unite.
No, all right. Here's why I say that. Because
They're making a Batman game. They're making a Batman Beyond game, but not with Terry McGinnis. Shows you how much people
Ooh,
care.
But like,
It's just
my-
because Damian Wayne's popular and he shoots guns and kills
Goddamn.
people. People like their murderous Batman. We saw BVS.
no, but I mean like not because I'm trying to tear your guys like debate selection down to make my debate selection look better, like a la politics style. But
You literally did that.
Batman Beyond will not win this debate based simply off the fact that unlike Batman the Brave and the Bold and Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Batman Beyond's received several sequels in the form of comics. So it's like you've at least gotten that. So the justification for like a renewal isn't as high. Also, the Timverse is kind of dead and gone. And so R.I.P. Will and his topic.
So what you're saying is I've already won because I got a
No,
continuation.
what I'm saying is you did
No,
you
no,
did get
no.
the continuation, but by winning that continuation, that let's be honest, most fans of Batman Beyond don't even know about because they don't read the comics half the time. So you kind of lost in that regard also. But
Oh god, you made me remember Future's End.
yeah.
Oh.
So, but in winning in that respect, you also have to lose in this debate because there's no justification for it really getting renewed. And Luke, this is when I come after you now, and you guys can come after my thing too if you want. But
I already did, so there's no
but
point.
Luke, to put
I
your
said
thing in
you-
a grave, you had what? Batman, the Brave and the Bold. How does it feel to know that Cartoon Network and Warner Brothers decided instead of renewing your fun, yippity dippity show, they put Beware the Batman? How does that feel?
I'll say this in defense. Batman the Brave and the Bold was so good that they decided to do Beware the Batman based on its best
How
episode.
does it feel to know that your show was so self-aware it was getting canceled that Ambush Bug mentioned that it was getting canceled for Beware the Batman?
It let me know just how amazing they were because they made an episode purely based around getting canceled.
yeah, by
That's
that
great.
argument-
Not a lot of shows do
What?
that.
EMH got caught off guard. They just got blindsided and said, "Get ready for Avengers Assemble." We got the dude from Nickelodeon to play Spider-Man too.
Look, in all fairness, at least Earth's Mightiest Heroes had an episode to basically try and wrap shit up. It wasn't a very good episode, but it was there.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like all right. So another reason why you don't deserve a renewal, Batman, Brave and the Bold, is because you had a proper send off. It was one of the best send offs I've seen a show get. It was very respectable, very well done, very well written, very conscientious considering the subject matter, I guess. But you had that. I had, so we're shortening your season order and you're getting canceled. So you better wrap up everything you want to do right now, because you wanted to explore that next season. Too bad, you can't do that no more. That's what
Also,
You still got a finale though.
You got a finale too. But you know what happened also on top of that? They lied to us and said the new show they're making is a sequel. Just to turn around and be like, it's not. Which I don't know who Jeff Loeb was trying. You know what? That's another reason I should win, because Jeff Loeb was behind the cancellation.
No.
Ultimatum, the same man that
is
murdered the
bullshit.
Ultimate Universe.
You can't do that. You can't do Jeff Loeb. Everyone hates Jeff Loeb. You can't do that.
My trump card is Jeff Loeb.
Everyone, Josh is a cheater. He is manipulating you. Do not vote for him.
A vote for Josh is a vote for Jeff Loeb, and nobody likes Jeff Loeb.
Exactly, yeah. If you're voting for Josh, you're voting for Jeff Loeb.
You're saying Jeff Loeb was right.
I mean, he wasn't wrong about killing the Ultimate Universe, I guess. Because everyone seemed to hate that universe. But
just because they put all the shit.
All I'm
just
saying,
ultimatum wave.
I love how Will just accepted
this is going on.
This point.
You basically said I won by losing. I lost by winning.
I know, right?
Because I got
it's a catch-22.
Yeah, it's a catch-22. I lost by winning by accident.
I would just like to say this on top of that. My show got a really self-aware send-off, and it was beautiful, but the nature of the show lends itself to have a really great revival episode as well.
So basically, Josh, the only reason Josh is winning is because his show got 2 seasons and then brutally axe murdered and lied about by Jeff Loeb.
The reason Josh wins is because his show is fucking concept art. Our shows don't have concept art. We have nothing to fall back on.
I can fall back on a couple years of comic series, but then I have Future's End, which is kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
You know another reason why?
This is bullshit. This whole thing is rigged. No more reasons. You already won.
No, another reason Brave and the Bold shouldn't get renewed. You guys had a video game released about this. You guys had a comic book series. I'm on the Wikipedia page right now.
Oh yeah, we had a video game on the Wii and the Wii U. Amazing.
A game on the Wii.
And then to top it off, right? So at least my TV show had plot lines and stuff like that. Something to engage you to follow it on a regular serial basis. No,
Brave and the
your
Bold
show
had plot
was
lines.
a random
It had plot
clusterfuck
lines.
of team-ups.
That's not true. Equinox was a long game plot
Yeah,
line. That was built up in like the first season and ran through. Justice League International and Starro was a plot
good enough
line.
to get a video game, though.
Luke. Your show had 2 plot lines. Welcome to being a serial TV show. Mine actually had
This is
multiple
bullshit.
plot lines that went forward from the beginning.
It doesn't. They're 2 different writing things. You can't compare plotline oriented shit and then serialization. It's not fair.
Also, EMH takes a big L for that Spider-Man thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they had fucking Drake Bell as Spider-Man and Earth's Mightiest Hero. That should bring it like a thumbs down.
Then you get the only returning cast member between EMH and Avengers Assemble was C. Mathis III as Black Panther. You couldn't even get your own cast back.
You guys had
We got Terry McGinnis back for Justice League Unlimited.
All right, well,
years later.
Look, all I'm saying before this closes out, Josh is a cheater. He is a liar, and you should not vote for him.
A vote for Josh is a vote
why do
for
you guys make me
Loeb.
sound like Trump right now?
Because you
Gotta
you
do what I
cucked
gotta
us.
do.
There's no way around
My
it. You
show
cucked us.
will be the best. Trust me.
He's a mean
Whatever.
man.
I'm done. I'm done.
He's a mean
You're
younger
fake
man.
News.
You are,
Will is BuzzFeed. And
this
Luke
whole
is
thing is
CNN.
rigged. I will not.
Whoa!
If Josh
I
doesn't,
take
if Josh
offense to
doesn't
that.
win, he will not accept the results.
You leave me and my
Well, see,
Tumblr news source out
if you
of
call
this.
me the Trump of this debate, that means I win, because not only did I trump you guys in, like, you know, the expression of being trumped, but Trump won the presidency.
No, you're not the Trump. You're the what's his name? Ronald.
The Ronald
Not Ronald.
McDonald or the Reagan.
No. I'm forgetting his name. The other candidate that dropped out and forgot about
I
it.
think everyone forgot about him. I'm drawing blanks.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
God
How
damn
far
it!
back
What's
are
his
you going? Are
name?
you going to when, like, community leaders
Mark
are saying
Rubio?
that they're running for president? Like, is that how far back you're going? Like, my substitute teacher
No, the
would be
one
like, "Yo, I'm running for president. Vote for me."
Yeah, hold up. Are you talking about Mark Rubio?
No, goddamn it.
Did he
what
ever
is
run
his
for
name?
president?
See, even I forgot.
Yeah,
This is going off the rails.
Basically, I think it's safe to say I won, because
I'm not conceding defeat. We'll
you
let
don't
the
have to concede defeat. Will,
hurricane.
we all concede defeat for you. But yeah, so comment below with who you guys thought won the debate. Don't be afraid to say I won the debate. It's okay.
You'll be a cheater. You'll be a
It's-
liar. I'll shame you in the
You'll shame
comments
in
if
the
you vote for Josh.
But yeah, comment below
We'll
any other
shame
topic
you.
ideas for future debates for the discussion. And with all that said and done, this is Josh, and I'll see you later.